ask for the recap because the other two are there. Oh, can't talk.
Nice. Yes. So, um, I don't even remember where we left off.
Would you like me to do it?
Just get me started and then I'll try and pick up.
So we started off on Tatooine in the Baron's compound. In the
Yep.
previous episode, he had told you that he was currently on vacation because he got in trouble with some powerful people following the pod race that
Yeah.
you won. He said, "I've got no work for you. Go off and do your own thing, and I'll be in contact in due course." And yeah, Nick is right. And Spanner's got a
Mm.
call from Amareth, who had given him a ticket to Marvelous Mechanicals convention while they were at the pod racing on not Manister. I forgot where the planet is. Anyway, and she gave him a call to say to him, "Oh, I gave you their ticket, and it's tomorrow." And then you can remember most of it from there, can't you?
Yep. So, Amarit said to Spanish, don't tell Lynn. He promptly went and told Lynn. She was like, let's give Amarit the space. So, Spanners and Professor Thaddeus read and there's a click and click clack. All decided to go do this wonderful convention. They headed down and landed on the planet has very strong winds, is it? That makes landing on the planet itself quite difficult. So you have to land on an outer space station. We landed there and we got freaking scalped for freaking all the shit for our ship again. We really need to get better at like sorting that out. So we paid for refueling and protection and cameras and optics and whatever the hell else they were selling. We basically paid for. And then Dr. Beige wanted to go, and we were trolling him the whole session, which was quite fun. Sorry, Dan, because he's your favorite.
Sorry.
And then we went to is it a giant space elevator?
It was a giant space elevator. So it was a space station that you parked on, and they extorted you a little bit, and they ushered you along, saying that the last elevator was going down.
Dan definitely didn't take a load of inspiration from the Aliens game and wanted to put a space elevator in his game.
So we rushed down, and when we went down, it was very convention style, which was quite cool. There were a couple of like criers saying, if you want hotels, go here. If you want this, go there, etc., etc. And then there were a couple of booths for each of the hotels that represented. We went to the first one. It looked a little bit sketchy, so Clickback was like, "Nope, we're moving on." So we went on to the next one, and he was a little bit more respectable, and we bought ourselves a deal at that hotel. I don't remember how much it was. I think it all came out of the party funds, which Richard is very kindly dealing with.
It was like
Thank you.
500, right?
I can't remember.
I remember it being 350.
I think it was like about $1,000 or so.
Yeah.
Oh, it was because it worked out $1,000 with the storage space, which was 11D4, which we worked out as 11D4, not 11D4, and
Yes.
unit 112.
Yeah. Did we end up getting the workshop too?
Yeah, so the unit is the workshop, and the storage is obviously where you can lock things up safely.
Okay. Yeah. And then we also rented the room. I don't think we ever went to the room. We just went straight into the convention after that point.
Yeah, 1,050 credits is what I wrote down here, I think.
Okay. So we headed out to the convention. We got scalped again for tickets because, everyone except for Spanners did not have a ticket.
One of us.
Oh, yes, because the droids don't have to pay.
Which is really discriminatory to us meatbags.
Yes, it's true. I didn't mind, though, because I was a droid, of course.
It's like 20 credits.
Yeah, it was cheap as chips. And then we went in, And the great inventor who Spanners knows and cherishes, and whose name I have no freaking clue about.
Elon.
Hitch.
Hitch, that guy, Mr. Hitch, Dr. Hitch, Professor Hitch. What is he? Does he have a title? Elon.
Elon Hitch. You know, he both technologically inventor and cleaner.
He did a speech to launch the whole thing off. It was very non-charismatic and quite dry, but that's when the charismatic guy, quickly takes over again afterwards. And so clearly he's a very techie kind of person. And then we entered ourselves into all of the competitions, which sounds crazy now that we've mentioned it to a few people and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? You're actually entering all of these. You're nuts. You're never going to do it. I see Richard shaking his head. So, yeah, you know, we got this.
We're not crazy. We know what we're doing.
Unconvinced, very unconvinced. And then we bumped into Bort on the planet, and Spanners tried to broker a similar sort of deal as he had with the surgeon. And he said, well, we can't talk about this now. Come meet me at the party place afterwards. So we also had a quick look for Reed's voice box modulator. And with a very successful roll, we managed to find one. But the credits were too high, so it was left behind. At the end of the session, I mentioned that I was going to say to Dan privately that Professor Thaddeus had gone back and bought it when no one was looking, because he was like, it's stupid. We can't just leave this part behind. It's one of 3 things he needs to get better. Like, let's just buy the damn thing. So that was 950 credits. Anyway, that was a slight aside. Then we went to the party, the after party. Have I missed anything yet? We went to the after party and bought poisoned Spanners. Wow, drugged Spanners, not poisoned. With a dermal drug, I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. Gentle tickle on the neck.
With a lotion on its skin.
Spanners was having a wonderful trip and embracing the high, and he started a distraction for us because Amaranth pulled him aside. That's what happened first. Amaranth got hold of him and was... Sorry?
He went for a wee and they had closet time.
Yep. Yes. She pulled him into the closet and we made lots of weird jokes. Anyway, then after she told him that there's something sketchy going on, it looks like it's Imperial controlled and they're taking all of the winnings for the... Did we find that out or did she tell us that?
It looks like they're taking all of the ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tech, yeah.
Did she say that or did we find that out when we raided the PCs?
No, she told you it looks like it's Imperial controlled and they're taking the tech ideas.
Cool. So then the 2 droids in Click Clack decided to go and raid some air vents and then do a drop down into the center of the place. Nick spent a cunning destiny point to reshape the building structure, which was amazing. And then we jumped in, hacked some central computers, got some information. What the information was is sketchy to me. I don't know why.
There was a load of like emails and stuff, wasn't there, about something that was going to go on, or are you in place, or something like that, wasn't it? It was
some hidden communication channel within the main channels that Amaranth had a suspicion that was there, and you guys went to find it. Find it. There we go. Found it. Great English.
To distract everyone, Spanners made a magical conga line and got everyone involved, and we snuck in, and then we just walked out. We pretended like we owned the place and walked out because when we triggered the alarm, we were on the way out and not on the way in. So they were looking for people busting in, and we just walked out. And it was all good. We found spanners, and did we contact Amaranth after that and tell her what we found?
Did speak to her. Hold on, I don't know the chronological order because she threatened you, Thaddeus, when you saw her in the room. I can't remember if that was before.
Yeah.
Because she was going off to try and find information from Illithor.
That was when Thaddeus. So Spanners was in the closet and said, "Oh, let me get my friends," and then come and got us. And it was when Thaddeus went in the closet then that she pulled out the blast, the detonator, and almost lost her hand.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because then you contacted her to say you were finished or you'd found the signal, and she said, "I can't talk, I'm busy," and she was with Illithor.
We cut to a scene where she was giving Hitch a handy hitch. I don't know. She was working her magic.
That's it.
And then say again, Nick.
Tying Hitch up in knots. Hitch is the knot.
And then we left the convention center, much to Spanners' disgust, because he was having a party and he just wanted the party to go forever and ever. Amen. And
when you say disgust, I think against his consent is actually the correct. Did we not shoot him in the end to stun him?
You both stunned him at the same time. Click, Clack, and Reed shot him at the same time, but not enough to knock him out, just to make him compliant. He's not fully out. He's sort of leaning on Reed, and you were taking him back to the hotel.
Yeah, because both Reed and Click Clack were kind of like, "Oh, fuck it, let him go party." We got a message from Beige, and he was in a jacuzzi with a Mai Tai or something, and he was like, "Come and party with me." And Spanish was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm doing it." And then Clack and Reed were like, "Who cares? Let him go party." And Thaddeus was like, "No, that's a hard no on this one. It's going to end badly." So then they both were like, "Well, okay," and then they stunned him. And then we took him back to we were on our way back to the hotel when we were crossing the bridge. We saw.
That's it. Yeah, before you got to the bridge, you were. Spanners was leaning on Reed. You were overtaken by a small child whose parents were saying, "Not too far, don't run off too far." And as they went onto the bridge, a giant frog-like creature jumped up, swallowed them whole, and then fell into the water. And that's where we cut the camera.
I forgot about that.
And you cut a little bit too early in the scene there, Dan, unless you're intentionally doing it. But Thaddeus looked over at Click Clack and said, "Are you up for a hunt?" And Click Clack was like, "Yes." But then they started to run to the edge, unless Dan wants to severely discourage us.
No, you can jump in. That's perfectly fine. So just re-roll some new characters. No, it's fine. We'll wait till he goes back. There was only a couple of things that you missed there. Dr. Beige caught up with you because you left him in the space station intentionally. He caught up with you eventually, and you told him there wasn't room in the hotel. So he asked to use the ship funds to get a hotel not too far away, and you said yes, not too much, but there was no amount specified. So he went off to do that. And I forgot what the other.
I didn't mention anything about the competitions, what the 4 different competitions were.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. And so we can wait till Nick, and you can choose to, if you're going to jump in to hunt this thing, or whether you're not going to. Entirely up to you.
Hey Nick, welcome back. We were just talking about right at the end, and Thaddeus looks over at Click Clack because the big frog monsters like grabbed a kid and dived over, and Thaddeus looks over at Click Clack and says, "Are you up for a hunt?" And Click Clack says, "Absolutely." So we run up to the edge and dive over the edge.
I mean, do we have to jump in the water? Can we not just run along the canal that it's gone swimming down?
It hasn't gone swimming, it's gone down into the water. It jumped up, grabbed them in their mouth, and just fell off back into the water. And that's where we cut the camera. And you guys said, "Oh, we're going to jump in or hunt it."
It's a river. How wide is the river?
So just to remind you what this place looks like, it's a concentrated forest that's very, 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 very tall. They've got buildings dotted between the trees, in the trees, and around. And these are kind of like probably about 10-foot wide stretches that obviously go through. As to how deep, it's dark. I don't think you'd be able to see that. But obviously, if you run over to the water's edge where this child has just been snatched, you'll just see the ripples of obviously something large splashing back into the water.
Can we see which direction it swam off in? Because it's only like 10
Sounds like a dice roll.
10
to me.
feet wide. I mean, I am very happy to assist Click Clack in this dice roll.
In this endeavour
I would.
that you have
Yeah.
absolutely no skill of.
Not yet. He doesn't. I'd like survival, please, because I think survival
Survival.
kind of give you an indication of survivally things.
I've got 3 greens for survival.
I have 2 greens. Quickback will absolutely assist Professor Thaddeus with his super robot low light vision.
That sounds
Does he have low light vision?
excellent.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm just making
Everyone
things up.
does.
I'd
With a robot.
kind of think that he may have some form of low light vision. I think that would make sense for robots or droids, sorry, in this universe.
What difficulty would you like, sir?
I think hard.
Easy.
No.
Can you make it normal and then just add setback dice because it's dark rather than making it harder?
Yeah. Okay. Make it average, and we'll have.
And because I'm helping you, can I use my microscopic sight, which allows me to remove setback dice from?
Yes. You can have 2 black dice, and then you can remove 1. Does that make sense?
Okay. So,
The water's moving. That's
bang.
Nice. Well, you can see from your survival database that these creatures don't necessarily grab their prey and swim. They grab their prey and drag them under the water. Obviously, they're inside their gaping maws, but they drag them under the water. The maws then kind of fill with liquid, and as the person struggles, they wear themselves out and slowly drown.
That's disgusting.
Really morbid and horrible. But the more they struggle, the more they take. So you can see with your microscopic and your droid eyes, looking into the water where the splash goes, you see the ripples kind of like obviously where they slowly fade away. You can just see this creature is literally sitting on the bottom. You can see its big bulging mouth. Your threat, though, as you're staring at this creature, you see a pair of eyes staring back at you, and it launches out of the water.
Is it the same creature or a different creature?
It's a different creature, but it is the same.
Top. Yeah.
Yes, and it launches out of the water. Initiative.
Pew pew.
What won't you want?
I think you guys were looking for this, so cool for you guys. I think.
Yeah. Are you sure?
I really need to upgrade my cool at some point.
Well, you guys were looking in the water, right? You were actively looking for things, so it is cool. I mean, vigilance is you not knowing about it.
No, I'm just saying I absolutely need to upgrade my cool at some point because it's rubbish.
Either
Dan?
way, for Prof T, it's one green.
I'm going to volunteer myself for a resilience check, and if I fail it, I'm out of the action. If I succeed, then I'm in the action. Trying to resist the stun. What do you think of that?
I agree. I didn't give
Sober
you
enough.
stun damage, right, for what they guys did because it's thematical. So I'm going to make it hard with a black, if that's okay. I don't know what your resilience check is, but good luck.
I mean, I've seen those videos in the evening.
Amazing. So I'm going to say that you get a surge of adrenaline as this thing starts, and you're like, "Ugh!" But at the end of it, you're going to lights out. completely
Nice.
out from your threats, if that's what I'm using those for. So if you roll, I think you should
we
roll.
rolling?
I don't know, because yours isn't. You weren't actively looking for it, so I'd say vigilance, like danger sense type thing. So, click clack. Thaddeus didn't get anything. I need a pen.
Oh wow.
I have an office and no paper. That's just stupid.
Digital age. Yes.
Well, I like to write down the thingy. However, this thematically goes quite well. So I think it was me, wasn't it? First me, then all the PCs.
I mean, arguably, it's just about the success, and PCs always go first.
No, because this thematically makes a lot of sense. So they have a skill called ambush. So this kind of sits in quite well. So this thing goes boosh out of the water. You were looking for the other one. You sort of go, well, there's a pair of eyes. Oh, and it comes launching out of the water at you. I am going to then. The way it works is it jumps out and basically does an attack straight away. So it's going to make a brawl attack against Click Clack. And my stealth skill.
Defense.
Okay, what's your defense?
Let me just check that. Where is that page? 1.
72 is the right answer.
42 is the right answer.
Damage.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, is the answer.
Is
Not the right one. The answer.
Okay. Rah! Comes surging out of the water, and it hits with all of those advantages. Amazing. So this thing launches out of the water. It's hulking. It's big, and it just reaches out for Click Clack with an open maw and hole. Click Clack, you are now inside a large mouth. It's wet and horrible in here, and it's not very nice. You can make a check on your turn. You can do a brawn check against average. On a fail, you take 3 strain damage, ignoring any soak, due to toxins making your prey go limp in your body. If you've been swallowed, you can make a hard brawn. That's the same thing. Hard brawn check with 1 additional black in order to try and escape the mouth. So let me know. We'll do kind of that. So this thing just surges out of the water and just in one go from everybody's perspective just goes whole over the top of Click Clack, and now it's huge. It's much bigger than you, Ross. Much bigger than you, and it looks very pleased with itself. But over to you guys. It doesn't do any damage, Nick. What that does is basically if that attack hits, it activates the swallow, not the damage.
I'm well up for you taking this one, Click Clack. Murder from the inside.
Mm.
Okay. So
Yeah, I mean the it might not really pleased with itself as it's swallow Click Clack, but now Click Clack can shoot it with much impunity.
it says on this you're going to make a brawn check to try and escape. Imagine it's gone halt and then you're not going to bother. You're just going to shoot it from inside. Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to make a brawn check on your turn, Nick, against average, and if you fail, take the strain damage from toxins. No soak. That's just a thing on the turn.
I've lost my Dice Jedi because I was looking for a cheat sheet. Brawn check. How difficult is this brawn check? Average, you say?
Average, yeah. This doesn't count as your turn. This is just an
yeah. Are you ready for this amazing brawn check?
I really hope it's like 4 dice.
That's it.
Right. Well, no. Remember, he's not Triassic. Yeah, it's Click Clack.
Fail. Okay, you take 3 strain damage, no soak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because strain isn't soak. Soak is only damage, wounds.
Toxins as they enter your body and make you feel a little bit sleepy, and you can do
right.
With me.
And do you remember what happened when the Sarlacc swallowed Boba Fett? So, I'm gonna assume that I'm engaged with this creature.
Yeah.
given that I'm inside it,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. It just makes my checks slightly more difficult.
I'm not going to give him his defense because you're inside the thing, but I am going to give you the adversary 1.
Target gains plus blue with melee attacks. Oh, that's interesting. Now, I don't think I have the skill that makes this easier for me, which is fine. So it's a hard check when you are engaged with a heavy weapon, and I haven't pre-checked this, so I'm just going to roll with it because there is a skill that makes it 2. But I'm just going to roll with 3 because there. But I have since upgraded Click Clack. Your pizza's in the oven. I don't know. You just keep an eye on it. Right. So there. And apparently I have not actually upgraded. Click. That doesn't seem right. I'll deal with that later. Shizazazazazah.
Holy fuck.
That's a lot of hits.
Click took determination when he leveled up, so now he has 5 agility.
Oof.
Amazing.
So he does 14 points of damage.
Ouch. Yep.
And oh, hang on. I forget. I always forget. It's now on my character sheet. There should be a blue on that. Is it blue? Yep. And he's got a Banthas, so there is another advantage, but it doesn't matter. He 13 damage, and that's enough to crit. But can I do something slightly more interesting with that? With all that. Target drops the weapon they're wielding. Now, you could argue that a bug with a really big gun, he's holding the weapon. So does he drop the bug with the really big gun?
Yeah, he drops your rifle for you. No, I can imagine that. That's
You bastard!
enough. That's enough for him to just go. Well, he's firing a big cannon in his mouth, so I would imagine he just goes, and just spits everything out with a jet of flame for thematical effect and a bit of smoke. But it goes because that's what they sound. So yeah, you can be flopped out on the floor like a newborn on the floor.
A pool of saliva.
And toxins. Okay. Over to somebody else if you're done.
He's going to stand up and just like slop himself off because I assume it's all like on him. So he's just like,
Flick it off.
now he's done.
Sorted.
Is it a PC turn now?
It's 2 PC turns in a row and then back to NPCs. This
Okay,
thing
so
is massive, by the way. Like, it's really above you, tall above you. I didn't give Nick any bonuses for silhouette because he was inside the thing, but being outside, obviously, it's bigger. So you get an extra blue because it's bigger than you to hit it.
amazing. Well, click clack. Professor Thaddeus is going to. Am I close with it and not engaged?
Well, I guess you guys were standing next to each other, looking into the water, or very close to the water, and then it pounced out. So you could take a step back and not be engaged with it.
I think that's the smartest thing to do. The difference is 1 purple, right?
Correct.
Okay. So it's 1 purple and I could get a blue for aiming, or I could, yeah, no. Okay. I'll just take a half step back so I'm not engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said 1 extra blue for the silhouette, right?
Yep. And this is adversary 1, so you've got to change one of the purples to a red. And looking at the creature, it's kind of like it's just had its mouth sort of blown open from stuff, but it's kind of bouncing on its feet as if it's sort of ready. So can you upgrade the other one, please, to a red?
2 reds.
That is thematically the dodge skill.
What a dickhead.
Checks.
Well, dodge my flamethrower, bitch. Yes.
Which it didn't.
At least I hit him. Okay, I will find what's going on again. Okay, so that is damage 10. And a critical with 2 advantage for criticals. And I think it has. Do you have to pay advantages to activate burn? I've forgotten. I think you do.
Yeah.
We did discuss this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you remember how many? It's 2, right?
Yes, 2 advantages to activate burn, and burn is equal. When triggered, the target suffers weapons base damage for a number of rounds equal to the rating.
Yeah, so it's burn 4. So I will pay 2 advantages to activate burn, and then I will use the other 2 advantages to activate a critical.
Okay.
Special rolls. Critical.
Okay. That's good.
Right, he is winded.
That stopped him from doing his dodge thing again, so that's cool. It's fine. So this giant froggy thing is now on fire.
He's not going to mind too much because he's probably just going to jump in the water, dickhead. But, you know.
So from... are you finished?
It's at the top of his turn, though, so at least he takes another 10.
Yeah. Are you finished?
I am all done.
So from your position, Spanners, you just see this large... Can't quite make out the colour of it right now, but it's now covered in flame, like silhouetted against the backdrop.
One that took the child sank down to the bottom of the river.
This was a different one that burst out and attacked you.
Is it still at the bottom of the river? Just there?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Spanners wasn't there, but yes, say it is.
And this one that's on fire, does it look hurt?
It looks really hurt, yes.
So, where I'm going with this is I've got a mine in my backpack, dear Liza, and I feel like this is mine territory, definitely. So I'm wondering if I could go set a mine and then throw it underarm into the river. It will sink down, blast the one at the bottom of the river, hopefully releasing the child out of the frog thing rather than destroying the child.
The froggy casing around the child will absorb the static shock.
Yeah, and then it will spit out the child who will float safely up to the surface to be retrieved.
A depth charge.
Yeah.
Sure.
When you said throw it underarm, you meant your underarms. Throw it, right?
Very good.
I have no problem if you want to do that.
I should do that, shouldn't I? Try and save the child with a depth charge. Okay.
I love it.
What difficulty do you want for that, Dan?
I'm thinking of making you make a mechanics check to set the mine.
It is a mechanics check to set this type of mine.
Okay, and then using your attack to throw it.
Oh, damn it.
Into the water. Because you've got to try and get it in the right spot, right? So you
Just drop it, really, you know?
Well,
yeah, just drop it.
But you get an extra maneuver. So I'm happy to say a mechanics check, you can aim and then as your action throw it. If that makes sense.
No, sorry, I didn't follow.
So you've got 2 maneuvers, haven't you? So one maneuver to do a mechanics check, second maneuver to aim, so you get the bonus when you throw it into the water.
I see. Okay. So mechanics check to set it, to kind of do the settings to make it a depth charger. So tell it to wait till it makes contact with something before exploding, I think is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So like a proximity trigger. So what difficulty do you want for setting it?
Daunting. For shits and giggles. No. I would say average, but I'm going to give you a bit for being woozy. Are you still woozy?
Okay.
Well, no, you had the adrenaline, didn't you? Pump yourself. Just do average. I don't think it's even worth you rolling average because you've got a gazillion dice, haven't you? There we go. Perfect. You make the perfect depth charge.
But you get a blue from your advantage. And you'll
Yeah,
throw.
I've got 2 blues for my throw.
Yeah. So
Which is range light.
yeah, range light to throw it into the water.
Oh dear. Okay. Ranged light is 2 green.
Now, is he going to be at short range or?
No, there is.
Sure.
Yeah, just do short then. So that's average. Or actually, oh no, you're throwing it against this thing, so you need to make it a red, please.
Oh, damn it.
He's throwing against the water, not against the frog.
Yeah,
He's just dropping
throwing
it in the water.
water,
I don't have stats
frog.
for the water.
This water on the planet also has a speed.
Yes,
So
yes.
it'll upgrade to red.
Weakness to depth charges.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
So he gets double all dice.
the gravity's actually strange in this water, so it'll just float on the surface. No, we'll do it as if you're doing it against the frog, because I haven't got stats for the water. So yeah, 1 red, please.
Oh, thank fuck for that. Okay, so what Spanish
Amazing.
does is he goes, kind of like sees the frog thing going down, sees the frog take the child in. He freaks out. He takes a mine out of his backpack and just chucks it into the river on target, and it sinks down. And there's an explosion underwater, doing a fuck ton of damage. So the personnel mine does 12 damage, blast 4, vicious 4, plus the extra successes. So it's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage, vicious 4, please.
That is brutal.
Well,
Absolutely brutal.
may I use your threats? Or
Yes.
I kind of think that maybe Spanners might be looking down to follow it to make sure it's gone the right way. So can I apply 2 strain to you as if you're taken back by the explosion? You know, for no damage, but 2 strain.
Yeah.
So this thing goes into the water. You follow it down. You're like, oh, and then all of a sudden you just see this silhouette of the as the explosion goes off. You see the silhouette of the frog, and it's basically like gone off directly underneath it. Out of the water, as you take strain and fall back, you see this frog come out of the frog. I'm going to call it a frog. It's not a frog, but a frog-like creature come out of the water, being blasted out of the water. It's absolutely huge, even bigger than Spanners. And in mid-air, you see the young girl come out of its mouth and crash to the grass, but you know, whatever. But they look limp. And then this thing just crashes next to you, and then rolls and stands up.
It's 2 now.
Yeah, it's 2 now. I'm just going to roll
The fish. It's tuna.
Yeah, tuna.
their initiative. 1. So they're actually going to slot in right in between you guys.
That'll be worth it.
Top of the round, if you're all done, sir.
Yes, thank you.
So top of the round, this one that landed next to Spanners is going to stand up and he's going to take the slot. And he's going to take a big swipe at this thing that's just done whatever. Hurt his jaw was full. So he's going to take a big swipe at you, sir. 1 damage. And you've got a melee defense. 1.
Let's have a look. Let me see. Hang on. I realise now that looked like 1, but that's me saying, hang on.
Yeah.
I have 1 melee.
Okay. No worries. So this thing takes a big swipe at you. Big clawed hand. And connects. Doing 3, 6 damage, 7 damage.
7 damage. I got 5 soak. So 2 damage. Oh, it's not so bad. I was petrified.
And it looks very pleased with, well, actually very hurt, but very pleased with itself. Over to PCE slot 1.
Go ahead, Click Clack. Yep.
Click Clack will do what Click Clack does best, and attempt to murderize everything in sight. So he will shoot them. He will step back from the frog first with his maneuver, so that he is no longer in engaged range.
That's a good idea.
And then he will commence with the murderization of the artist formerly known as Frog.
They have a range defense of 1, and you need to upgrade a check, please, to
Mm-hmm.
and he cannot do his dodge because of the winded.
Sure. So that's
Win.
1, which is now a red. Done that. Sorry. So we've just got the 1 red. Yeah, that's all.
And a black.
And a black.
Range defense.
Oh yes. Sorry, you did say that. Okay, and then I've got accurate, and I've got a Bantha's eyesight, which is an auto, not success, 1 auto advantage. Let's try this. Holy moly!
Wow.
So this does. I will argue that with the quantity of advantage I have there, technically the despair is not cancelled out by success. So there's 2 options here. We can just roll that as a flat, or I can do a fuck ton of damage to it, and then I can lose my ammo on my gun or something like that. I think it's despair, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the ranged weapon immediately runs out of ammo, but I'm happy to argue your shot goes off and then you go click.
Is it meant to be purple, sir?
1 red.
And no purple.
Well, the red, 1 purple because of being short range, and because of his adversary, that was upgraded into a red.
Interesting. Sorry, I didn't realise that's how it worked.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy for you to shoot it and use the despair as your gun clicks out of ammo, because I suspect you're going to do more than 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna do 9 damage and give the next person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blows.
Okay, worries. Well, this thing in front of you, you shoot it and a hole just appears in its chest and it falls over to the ground. And that was the one in front of you that was on fire as well. So it just flops to the ground and you can hear the skin sizzling as it's still burning away.
But my gun goes.
Yeah. Maybe some of the gunk got in it or the toxins, I don't know.
Yeah, it's been in goo, it's been in water.
It's not happy.
It's not happy.
And that thing just falls to the floor and dies. And then it will go over to another PC slot. And all that's left is the other one standing face to face with Spatters.
I will very happily take the slot if you're good with that, Rich.
Yep,
Thaddeus,
go for it.
Thank you. Thaddeus looks into the giant hole that was blasted into this creature by Click Clack and goes, "Oh, that's where its delicate parts are." And he turns and he aims his flamethrower and he tries to do like a more concentrated beam, trying to give some flavor to the 7 advantages that I've got, you know. So it's
Fires a fireball rather than a jet
those,
of flame.
one of those.
The flame lance.
7 blues,
1 black,
1 for
red.
aim, 1 black, and 1 red.
Yeah, remember the purple turns into a red from your bag, not your.
Am I close or am I?
I would say you're in short range, so that's why it's only one difficulty.
Okay. The closest 2 and short is 1. Is that right?
No, short is 1, medium's 2, engaged is 2 as well.
Oh, and there is no close. Okay, close is just it's short and medium.
Well,
okay.
It's engaged if you're that close.
Yeah, if you're that close. Okay, cool. Here we go.
Murder it. Oh my god.
Hamazama Rama.
So I'm going to say with all of those advantages, your flame is controlled so perfectly that you burn this creature, but you don't get spanners on the other side in any particular way, because obviously flame doesn't follow whatever. And it just creates like a fireball around this creature, and it just goes as it falls down, burning, and you can see spanners on the other side, who is obviously gearing up for a fight. I didn't want to tell you how many hit points that was, because you did like 19 damage or whatever it was, so this thing just melted in one go.
Can we say for flavour, Reed has scuttled off to the child? Go in.
Yeah, maybe he. Oh, I would say his parents, though, because his parents were there as well. So
Yeah.
maybe they've run over to the child and they're like, "Oh no!" and like, making a bit of a fuss, and the dad's on the phone to the authorities. And it's at this point that Spanners goes just like a log and just falls onto the floor. I'm just going to quickly grab a drink. Wait me a second.
Which is on the warpath. We're going on a
Just trying
tour.
to do some unpacking. I'm trying to multitask.
So Spanners falls to the floor. There is some light around here, but obviously you next to the burning carcasses that are still on fire from the flame jets. And after a few moments, you start to hear a siren in the distance. That's clearly getting closer and coming your direction. You can see the dad on the phone, the mum going, "Oh no, like with the child. He's clearly breathing, but as Click-Clack may feel a bit groggy from the toxins, it's clear that this child has been poisoned, where they try and make it a bit more compliant while inside the child's mouth. Reed is just standing by, overlooking what's been going on, probably looking at Spanners now, who's face first in the dirt.
That was the first bit of fun we've had in a while.
Yes. Unfortunately, it was over too quickly, as always. Just prodding Spanners. We should probably pick him up and take him to bed. I don't think
That
he's
is-
getting back up.
Cool.
So,
Are we waiting around for the authorities?
well, they arrive very shortly
Okay.
after this. Maybe you're picking up Spanners and things, and trying to get him off, and an officer goes, "Excuse me, I've just been informed what you did for this family, and we're very proud of your contribution to this community. Can I have your names, please, and where you're staying, so we can give it to the family if they want to send a thank you gift?"
There's no need for that. We were just doing our duty.
Yes, but they insist, and I obviously have paperwork to do. I mean, there's 2 carcasses over there. I need to be able to attribute them to somebody. You're not in trouble, don't worry. We kill these things when we find them, but...
He gets a business card out for the group.
Pilfered Parrot Pirates. Oh, fantastic. It's made
I like it.
Pirates.
Yes.
Oh, pioneers. Yes, I read it wrong. Sorry. Okay, and you're staying here, is that right? In this hotel? Pointing to the one.
Yes, this is our hotel.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. And on with your day, evening, night. There we go. And as you start to walk across the bridge with Reed and Spanners being sort of carried,
I've got to get this drunk back home.
you turn around and you see one of the police officers pull out a flame unit like Thaddeus, as just burn the bodies where they lie, and then kick them into the river with a bit of effort. So we're going back to the hotel. This is where we were.
It's a shame that the kid got out, really, isn't it? Another breeder.
was thinking surely they would have figured out a way to cook those things and eat them. They're so big, like that could feed a family for a week.
What a waste of resources.
It's these big civilizations, They don't look at the little ways they can optimize their economies.
They probably taste like arse anyway.
I wouldn't know. We head back to the hotel.
Evening, sirs. Anybody for a nightcap? And there's a gentleman at the door with a tray of drinks. Looks like he's had one too many, that one. Do you reckon he wants one more? No. Okay. Are you staying at this hotel, sirs?
Yes, we are checked into room 11T5 or whatever.
Yeah, 112. I did it as the same number as the unit, so I didn't forget. Oh, fantastic. Oh, okay. Well, in through the foyer, up to the elevator, first floor, 12th room on your right. Do we take your luggage there?
Surely it would be the 6th room on the right.
I'm sorry, sir. Our numbering system is very different here.
Okay.
It's 12 and a half on the other side.
See.
And going into the hotel, it's very very quiet because it's quite late at night. There's not many people about. There's a few party goers that are still having a drink and talking, and people that have obviously been here before. They're chatting away to the people they haven't seen for a while. But you go up to the hotel room, which you actually haven't been in just yet. Go up in the elevator, go to the 12th door on the right hand side, and open the door. And it's quite a nice suite. You can step in and it steps down into like a common area in the middle. It's got some offshoots for rooms, a little drinks dispenser in the corner, and clearly where you can make food and bits and pieces. It's quite a nice hotel room, especially for the price you paid.
Well, we'll drag Spanners to whatever is resembling a sleepable surface.
Rug on the floor, just a little like a fuzzy carpet or something like
Right, ring the door.
He's asleep. He's just rubbing himself against the sensory. The carpet, like it's nice on his face.
That's like get him to the Greek with the wall. Anyway, we'll get him, a nice big glass of water and some paracetamol, and then Clickback's going to bed.
Okay. You'll see.
Is it cold? Is it warm?
The bed.
Spanners need a blanket. Like if Spanners needs a blanket, then
Cuddle with him.
no, Thaddeus will just make sure that he has a pillow, and he's not just lying on the rug, and he's got a blanket if it's cold.
We'll put him in bed.
No, on the top, but it's more fun. But he'll give him a pillow and a blanket.
I think that's fair. Huge. I think just leaving him on the floor comfortably is fine.
Glass of water nearby. You will see Reed, who was carrying Spanners for quite a bit of that, sort of wheeling, and then you'll see him sort of do that thing in the movies where they do like the electrical shock up them, and he goes dark, shuts off, system shuts off. Happily, he's in the corner, nice and comfortable, but he powers down completely.
We plug him in so he can start charging.
When he comes back. Yeah. Is there anything that Thaddeus is doing this evening other than watching and look after his comrades, particularly the one on the floor, because he doesn't sleep?
He'll just do a quick sweep around the room for any obvious bugs or surveillance gear or any threats or anything like that, and then he'll just stand guard essentially. But go into his powered down mode, which is essentially like systems kind of shut down but still alert.
A low power mode, yeah. So he goes around the hotel room, picks up the lampshades, looks at everything, and you don't find anything at all. No listening devices, no watching devices, cameras, anything at all. No, nothing that you would think is spying on you. There's tech there, but obviously tech that would be in a hotel room.
Brilliant. And power down.
And then we'll fast forward to the morning. Click-clack wakes up, all fine. Richard, you recover your strain from sleeping. However, you wake up with a banging headache and feel very, very groggy. So I'm going to give you another 2 strain waking up because you're not feeling very good. So you cleared. I think you cleared 2, didn't you? And then putting 2 back on. So, and you find yourself on the floor, neatly put on the floor, maybe in the recovery position, however you do that with forearms, I'm not sure. But you find yourself on the floor, the recovery position, very comfortable, and Thaddeus is standing not too far away, clearly looking after you, while keeping an eye on you.
It's not creepy at all with his bug eyes. Francis wakes up and goes, "What am I doing on the floor? What happened last night?"
You insisted on sleeping on the floor.
Did I? Oh, I had the strangest dream. I had a dream about frogs, and I blew a frog up with a mine. How ridiculous.
So when he checks his pack and the mine's actually
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that right? Did we blow up a frog?
That actually happened, Spanners.
Oh,
You can listen to my professor's log if you'd like.
yes, please.
He'll rewind slightly and just play back the little combat section.
Professor's log, stardate 3214.
That bastard Bort drugged me. What a bastard. I'll be having words with him when I see him.
Did we get to the bottom of why he drugged you? Was it because he wanted to party with you, or was it because he wanted to screw you over today?
I don't know. Good question, Professor. I'm ignoring the GM shaking his head.
He definitely owes us one.
Right.
I think he was trying to get you to loosen up and feel like you then owed him one. Typical merchants.
How's
just going to-
your weapon doing? Sorry, go ahead, Spanners.
I'm going to have a glass of water. What were you saying, Thaddeus?
Thaddeus just asked, click, clack, click, clack. How is your rifle doing? I heard a disturbing noise after you blasted the shit out of that one.
It's just that the ammunition battery. The power cell was depleted.
Okay, nothing to be worried about then.
No, just run out of juice at an inopportune time. It just makes a funny noise being an older EE3 model.
I see. Good, we're good to go then. Are we all? Go ahead.
We are.
Good. Shall we head off?
So,
If only Beige were here, I'm dying for some noodles.
you wouldn't let him stay. So while you guys are chatting and giving Spanners a bit of a update of what happened, or clarifying data, because obviously he's a little bit fuzzy, on the TV screen it pops up with a message and says, "Welcome." I forgot the name of the hotel. I completely forgot what it was called. Welcome.
The Majestic.
That's it, the Majestic. Welcome to the Majestic Hotel. For those interested, the scrap delivery will take place in exactly 45 minutes for any competition entries. Thank you. And it will come up with basically where to go to find the scrap.
Are you feeling up to this morning, Spanners?
Well, I'll have to, won't I? I'll cope, don't you worry. I just need to grab something to eat on the way. I'll be fine.
Fuck's sake.
I'm sure reception has a buffet. We made sure to get the food breakfast package at least.
You did
Yes.
get the food package, yeah.
The basic food package, though. So you can grab a slice of toast on the way out.
Like you get breakfast and that's it. You have to buy your own lunch and dinner. And Click like it's just gonna like find a large bowl of worms and just. It's disgusting.
So you grab food and bits and pieces, is that right? From downstairs. We're very surprised they had worms, but glad they did. You get a
All the species in the galaxy, a nice place like this will cater to all racial tastes.
This is very true. You guys get a message on the com.
Why have we frozen? Oh, okay, we're back. Okay.
Yeah. Did everyone freeze for everyone?
Yeah.
Discord just being Discord.
You get a message on the com.
Is it caller ID BEIGE?
Yeah.
Just put it on silent. Wait, hang on. Is he our fourth person for this competition?
No, because you didn't do anything with him. You kicked him out, basically. Good morning, gentlemen. Oh, gosh.
What time do you call this, Spain?
Well, early.
It's better get your shit together. The scrap heap challenge starts in 30 minutes.
But I was calling you to... You hear him vomit on the... I was calling you to say I'm already here, and the ship with all the scrap is coming down. It'll shift the camera so you can see this absolutely colossal ship basically backing very slowly down into... I'm almost at the front, but I had to join my own team because, well, you guys left me on the space station. So I don't think I'm going to win, but I'm looking for certain pieces, you see. There's items of relical interest in here. This scrap, so I'm told. If you hurry, I'll try and save you a space.
Oh, you are in luck. Reed has an extended power down cycle.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh well. Could you bring me a muffin from the breakfast bar? Thank you. Or some noodles. Cheerio.
Thaddeus cuts a muffin in half and stuffs some noodles in it. Like makes a noodle muffin sandwich. Like just takes it in a bag and gives it to Paige when we get there.
I like to think you do it with like wet noodles as well. So by the time he gets it, the muffin itself will have absorbed all of the liquid, and it's just
Soggy muffin.
sounds like a nice innuendo. I don't know how a mouthful of soggy muffin.
As you go outside the hotel, you come outside the Majestic. There is.
It's just over there, isn't it? Like the scrap place is like the Majestic is prime position for everything.
Yeah, it's very close. One of the bellhops goes, "Excuse me, are you gentlemen in a team and taking part in the competition?"
Yeah.
Oh, here is a complimentary skiff for you, so you can bring your equipment back, so you can put it in your lockup. You are 11D4, aren't you? That's right. Yeah, you're the last ones to go. I mean, this one's for you, and he shows you this you can drive a couple of little passenger places, and then basically a truck bed for putting all your bits and pieces. You best hurry. You might be late.
Jump on and gas it.
So it flies. It's just like a speeder. You fly over towards where you can see all the crowds amassing. You can see this colossal ship basically coming down. And you park up your speeder and go to join the crowd. And you can see all kinds of different people here. You can see like ragtag groups put together. You know, they're not wearing any unified clothing. You can see groups that have got unified clothing, all of the same species. They very clearly take this extremely seriously. You've got all kinds of people that you can see. Some are already trying to do stuff on data pads, and as you walk past, you see some people have already got some designs of speeders, or some designs of weaponry, or something like blueprints, as it were, something that they're thinking of making. And you eventually find Professor Page, who's sort of standing in. Do we have a dance circle and somebody's in the middle? It's kind of like that, but he's not dancing. He's just, everyone seems to have sort of moved away from him because there's clearly vomit on the ground where he was staying. He goes, "Oh, good morning, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me. And look, I've got a rather large space around me, which I don't quite understand why, but we're close to the front. Look, it's almost down. You can see the ship. It's literally coming down very, 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 very slowly, being buffeted by the wind."
Here's your noodle muffin.
Oh, noodle muffin. I'm so hungry, I don't care. Thank you, Thaddeus. Very thoughtful. And he starts to break pieces off, and it's like really soggy, so it's breaking up in his hands. And in the end, he starts going, just it's actually quite good.
No, it's not.
He might not say that later.
More pudding than Click like eating the worms.
And, so you guys have entered into this competition, have you? Which one? I had to sign up for the for one of them in order to just. I just want to look around the scrap. I'm not interested in actually winning. Which one did you guys enter?
All of them.
Are you mad? All of them?
Yeah. Well, no, obviously not anymore.
Oh yes, because Reed. No, Reed was doing which one? Robotics is the answer. I had Reed was doing robotics, Thaddeus was energy weapons, Kuklak was ship upgrades, and Racer was racers, but they're actually supposed to be Expanders is racers, but I've written Racer twice. I'm in for the Racer, me. Although I'm not going to bother, I'm just going to, like I said, look at the scrap. I'm just interested in things. Oh, did you know that one of the panelists today happens to be a bounty hunter? He's quite famous. What was his name? Began with a D. Oh, Dengar. Anyone have heard of Dengar before? You definitely would have heard of him. He's quite a famous bounty hunter. So you definitely would have heard from him in anything else. He has a pretty dark reputation and known for definitely getting his target. Oh, yes, he's coming to do. He's apparently a mechanic, but a bounty hunter too. So he's coming to give one of the paths. I think I'm going to go listen. It'll be very interesting.
What race is he?
He's human.
Okay.
Is this for notes? Is it? Or is it for... Okay. Yes, he's actually a very famous bounty hunter in the Star Wars universe. And he's in A New Hope, when you have all the bounty hunters standing on the ship, and you see both. He's one of the bounty hunters there, and he plays quite heavily in the Clone Wars too. Anyway, yes, I'm going to go to one of that panel later, but that's in a few hours. I'm going to go for this scrap heap now, and oh look, here we go. And you see the ship, well, you feel it more than anything, make a connection with the ground as it shakes the ground and poofs up a dust cloud around everybody as the dust from underneath, and then it just kind of opens forward and to the sides, and just piles of scrap just fall out, like mountains of scrap. And he goes, "Oh, 3, 2, look, they cheated!" And then he starts to hop towards the scrap, and everybody else, you just see the crowd descend on start descending toward the crap piles, the scrap piles. The scrap piles.
Salvage crap. The scrap.
Yeah, and you see some people are running, like teams are running, and they like immediately sort of split up and disappear into the jungle of scrap pieces.
To be clear, we're meant to claim a portion of it onto our skiff. Is that what you're saying?
No, the skiff was there just for you to transport things back to your workshop in order for you to ascertain.
Go there, you pick the stuff you want, you put it on the skiff, you take the skiff back to the hotel, you do your work on it.
That's it. So I
We
tried.
have to do a little hunty bit first.
Yes, so there's going to be a hunty bit, and what we're going to do is do some rolls, and depending on the result of the roll, you will find what you're looking for, and then depending on a D100 roll afterwards depends on the quality of the item that you have found, because as you know, everybody likes to try and steal from other teams, so there may be some opportunity to steal better things or be stolen from. So I'd like to basically just go down the simple route and say, like, you're looking for each one of your upgrades. Thematically, we'll describe it however you want to describe it, but thematically, you need to find 5 pieces for each thing. If that makes sense. So for 5 pieces for the energy weapon, 5 pieces for the ship upgrade, and 5 pieces for the racer. So we're going to make 5 rolls, and then we're going to make 5 quality rolls for the D100. So obviously low being bad, high being good, and then we're going to use those statistics on there, if that's okay. Because I could sit here and go, right, you need to find a cooling vent for the blaster and a trigger system and all those bits and pieces, but it's much more fun if you thematically go, well, this is what I'm building, and we found the parts, but whether it works for the quality, overall quality, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to go with 5 rolls each of either mechanics, so you're using your mechanical eye to find the items within the scrap pile, or perception. I'm also happy to accept a ranged attack as searching, because you're, like, for example, Thaddeus, you're looking for weapon parts particularly, so using a ranged ability so that you're looking for those particular parts of a weapon. Yeah, so you can argue with me on those if you want to.
I was going to say, can I use gunnery because I'm trying to build a heavy weapon?
Absolutely fine. Yep. Yeah. So I'm going to make all of the searches hard, depending on what skill you're using. So you can roll 5 times gunnery with hard. If you're using mechanics, Richard, that's 5 times with mechanics. Nick, if you're using perception or whatever you choose for that. And I kind of think the way I'm thematically looking at it is, if you're looking for computer parts, you're going to be using your computer knowledge, if that makes sense. Well, that's a motherboard and all those bits and pieces that I need. So let's go with gunnery man first.
Gunnery man first. And double check my gunneries. All right. Locked in. Roll. And you said hard, so that's 3.
Yeah.
Save pool, so we can just roll it multiple times. Right. So first one. Fail with advantage. Does that mean I get to roll a blue on my next one?
No, I'm just going for successes and failures depending on what effect it
Okay.
has.
So success, fail, and success with Blender.
So I'm going to
Yeah.
say to you,
Critical.
on the very last one, you're not going to need to roll a quality on that one. That is going to be 100% perfect.
Okay.
For that one. On the first one, so we'll do the first one first. So I think you're going to roll. The easiest way to do is let's do disadvantage like we do in D&D. So I'd like to roll a D100 and a D100, and the lowest result will give you the quality of the first item. Oops.
If I do this, what does it do?
What happened there?
There we go. 27.
So
Rolled the whole pool, but then it rolled the whole
no
pool,
worries.
but then
so your second
27 for the first one.
Yeah, so your second item was 4 successes. So I'm going to give you plus 40 on whatever the roll is for that one.
Okay,
So
just a straight roll, no
straight D100.
advantage. Just
Yep. Just one
straight D100 plus 40, so
So
that's
actually going to
100.
be a perfect, so 100%. Oh, in the wrong one, Daniel, idiot. Next one's going to give you a plus 10.
Okay, so good laptop doing weird things.
So 89%. You've got really good rolls. And then number 4 was just the 2 threat. So I'm going to make you do disadvantage on that one again.
Okay, disadvantage 24.
Okay.
The 2 pretty shoddy ones, and then some really good ones.
Okay. So 3 20 out of 500. Okay, Nick, you want to go next?
Okey-dokey. I am looking for spaceship parts.
Mhm.
So I'm going to use. I don't know. I don't know. I've got lots of dice for piloting, but I've got lots of good dice for mechanics. So I've got 1 yellow and 4 green for piloting, but then I've got 3 yellow for mechanics. So I think given that there's the ability for crit, I'll probably go. I'll tell you what. Why don't I do 3 piloting ones and 2 mechanics ones? There's a good crack. Just to mix it up a little bit. I'll tell you what I'll even do. I'll use piloting planet and piloting space, which are exactly the same. So is irrelevant. And hard. So let's do 3 of those. Chizar.
Okay.
Chizar. Chizar. And then we're going to go some of them.
Ooh,
Okay, so
amazing.
for 3rd and 5th, I'm going to give you 100% because you got the
The pretty cars. Yep.
symbol. The first one you're going to have plus 30 on a D100, and the second one you have plus 30 on D100.
Okay. So what's going on there?
That'll go up to 100.
And 5. And then
Go up to 100 as well. Jesus Christ, you got
can
400%.
I have that one for 3rd?
And you got a plus 10 on the 3rd one.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Yep. Almost too good.
Would have been a perfect.
Could you imagine if they were all 100s?
Well, that could be good or bad. It could draw unwanted attention. Who knows? All right. Okay. So 417 out of 500 for that one. Richard, over to you.
Unsurprisingly, I'm using mechanics for everything because I've got 4 yellows. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, it didn't do it. Hang on. Hmm?
If you click the little save pull slider next to special roles, you can just keep clicking roll.
Oh, thank you. That's how you did it. Cool. 2. Oh, shit. 3, 4, 5. Wow, they just got progressively better.
Yeah. So the first one's a D100 with plus 20.
Okay.
Same thing. So take your dice down, put a D100 dice on it, save pull, roll.
So we got an 83 for slot 1. Slot 2, you've got no bonuses. So it's just a 4.
Damn it.
Then
Take the dice down.
yeah, take all the other dice out, Richard, if you can. And then next one you're going to have
3.
plus 10.
Oh,
No. So 14.
Oh, your luck. Sorry.
Next one you're going to have plus 20. So 46. And last one you're going to have plus 60. Oh dear, Richard. Okay.
He's really hungover and he's not very good at searching. He's like, oh, my head. What's that again? Oh. He's just doing really badly at his searching.
So you got 209 out of 500 for that.
You were making a racer, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we had Richard.
And I, because I was getting ship parts, which are very similar to racer parts, swap all of my rolls with Richard's.
Well, that depends on thematically what we do, because you were there to make not a ship, you were there to make a ship part. So
Yeah.
it could be that you were making a ship engine, then maybe yes, we can swap some of those. It could be that you were making a ship weapon. It could be that you were making a particular shield or armor or something like a system that goes
I
into a ship?
I was making, right, and I don't know if you're aware of this because they made a prop out of it and then never used it in and I think they actually did it on Enterprise actually, but in Star Trek Voyager and then actually later on in I think it was Enterprise, there's something called the Captain's Yacht. If you look on the underside of the saucer section in Voyager, there is the shape of what kind of looks like a shuttlecraft, but it's flush with the hull. And what they were going to do, instead of having the Delta Flyer, which was in the shuttle bay, they were going to have a captain's yacht. And they then reused the idea later on. I think it was in Enterprise, and it detaches, and it's a separate shuttlecraft that's built into the ship. So I was going to make one of them, like a not an escape pod, but a small craft, like a little fighter or something that straps into a bigger ship but actually merges into it. So I'll just swap all my parts so that Richard can make the racer out of those parts. You know, the engines and the two-person cockpit and some other stuff, the power plant.
Well, I'll argue this. Let's go back to the storage unit.
Yeah.
Because the way I imagine this is you've gone into the scrap pile, you've all disappeared to look off your things. You don't know what each other's got just yet. You know what categories you're doing. But you'll meet back at the speeder to either transport those, or you would have taken yours back and then come back for the other guys, whatever, thematically. But this guy goes on for 5-6 hours until they call the scrap pile is shut for the rest of the day, as the remainder of the convention is going to be going on, the panels, all those bits and pieces. So going back, let's just say. Go on.
Sorry, just before we go, Dan, Thaddeus, once he's collected his parts, is going to clock the other teams and look for the teams that have got like the best parts in case we decide to do a little shifties.
So I'm going to get you to hold on that one. Only reason being is
Sure.
there's a lot of people moving back and forward, and there's a lot of things going on. So being able to say picking out this right now is going to be quite difficult. And what I'm going to do is when you go and move further into this, we'll roll a D100 when you spot things to see whether it's actually better quality or not, and if it is, then you can action blah blah blah. Because I imagine this is everybody swarming over the stuff, trying to get the best bits, and then taking it back. So let's do that bit in a bit, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's just fast forward a little bit. So you've all taken your stuff back, whether it being all together or all separately, and you're standing inside the storage unit that you've got, which is 11D4. There we go. And you've got your piles of stuff, and we've got Click Clack, who's looking very pleased with himself because he seems to have done very well with what his designs are. And we've got Spanners, who's looking.
It's that microscopic sight in his eyes. He can spot the good and the bad parts.
And we've got Thaddeus, who looks quite pleased with his haul. He's definitely done better than 50% in terms of what he's got. Richard, unfortunately, was the only one not to get over half, like, quality items, as it were. So tell me exactly what you're building. I'm happy for you to trade scores if you want to trade some scores. Not all of them, because I think that's a bit not unfair. That's the wrong word. It's a bit like you're intentionally forfeiting your section, as it were. And there was prizes and bits and pieces, although I've forgotten what they were. There they are. So I'm happy for you to trade a couple of little bits. Just tell me what you're going to be making. Bear in mind, you're not making these now. This is going to be over the course of like 2 days that you're making these, and then obviously they'll be presented at the end.
So we paid for entry into the fourth tournament, fourth competition, the robotics one, right?
Yeah. So what I'll do, we'll sort that later. Don't worry, we'll sort that later.
Oh.
I have asked Andrew. I asked Andrew for an idea of what he wanted to do, but he hasn't quite responded yet. So I'll chase him up and then I'll do the rolls or whatever with him, or show them whatever. So Ross, what are you trying to make? What are you trying to craft out of your items now? You've seen everything on the floor.
Like, it's an energy weapon, right? And Thaddeus specializes in like the very heavy stuff. So either like the heavy flamethrowers, which is it's a gunnery check essentially, right? and ship's weapons. So he is actually wanting to build a ship-size energy weapon. But the key trick that he wants to do is, because he knows that the Empire's behind it, he wants to throw something into the design so that there's kind of like a frequency receiver in the device. And if it receives this frequency from the item it's targeting, from the ship that it's targeting, essentially, then it fires just slightly skew. Is that a goo dessert? Oh, I nailed it.
Oh, yes. The king, the daddy.
They're very
Very
good.
nice.
Very nice.
Sorry, I saw cheesecake base and I was like, oh,
Yeah. Looks very good. Makes sense, Dan?
Yeah, so it's basically like I said microwave weapon, but it's not that. It's a frequency weapon that you point at the enemy ship, and it throws off their targeting.
No, the idea is that it fires an energy weapon, right? It's just an energy weapon, like a standard ship's energy weapon. But what I want to do is I want to equip our ship with a frequency emitter so that if someone targets us with that particular weapon, so if it catches on and the Empire does use this and they roll it out on all their ships, we can equip something that gives us maybe like gives them a black die when they're firing on us with that weapon. So that's the thing.
You're creating just a blaster that uses a particular frequency of maybe crystal or whatever it is that they use to generate the light. And excuse me, in that emitter there is a frequency that you will put into your shield or broadcast, as it were, and it will throw off their targeting. Okay, so
exactly that.
In theory, you're just making a blaster using this thing. Okay, no worries, that's cool.
Well, not a blaster, a ship-sized weapon, right? Yeah, so like a cannon, a photon, a torpedo, or a laser. Yeah, something big.
Not turbo laser because they're massive, but a laser, like you get on an X-wing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okie dokie. No worries. So, Nick, you were trying to build a mini ship that attaches to the underbelly of
right.
a larger ship.
So you know how people had boats, yeah? What's the word? Pender. That's the word I'm looking for. And people have boats, and they're just like a little boat that takes them to the shore. It's like that. So just on obviously, like if you've got a really small ship, you're not going to have one of these under. But like our ship, maybe we might a little 2-man tender. It's that sort of.
For some reason, I have this in my brain how you've described it as kind of like a. Sorry.
I was going to say that in Prometheus and the Cronus in the Alien game that we ran, the ship has a captain's bit that it can jettison. Do you remember Prometheus? It leaves behind the captain's little mini ship that can fly on its own, and the Cronus did the same. So like that kind of thing, yeah?
But just on a very small scale.
Yeah, like a Z95 headhunter, just like a little 1 or 2 person small ship.
Okay.
Maybe it's like a Tide style design, and the covering plates fold out to the wings, or whatever.
I had and you were describing it, an idea in my head that you're kind of like laying down, and you can see where you're going, but you're sort of laying down, and just the wings fold out of it. It's like a casket, more or less, like lengthwise, and the wings fold out.
I tell you, imagine, Kylo, not Kylo shuttle, the ones with the 2 flat wings on top and the tie body underneath. That, but just smaller. Or, something of that.
Okay. No worries. So you did incredibly well on your rolls, and you actually got 83%.
Oh yeah.
Which is good. Okay, and Richard, describe to me the racer. So what the racer wasn't a speeder. It was just like a small. How did I describe it? Kind of like a go-kart type thing, like a go-kart type racer that they may use on smaller circuits.
Like soapbox.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
So Vanus looks at the parts and he thinks there's no way I'm going to make the fastest or one with the best steering. So he decides to go for the best look. And now that he knows that one of the judges is Dengar, he's going to try and design a look for the ship that is an homage to Dengar. What I'm thinking is perhaps he can recall what Dengar's ship is. So if it was Boba Fett who was on the panel, he'd be going, I'm going to make my racer look like Slaver 2 or whatever. So he's going to try and recall what Dengar's ship looks like and make a racer in honor of his famous ship.
Punishing One is the name of the ship. Do you know what it looks like?
No.
It's like a curved ship. I can't explain it. And I could send you a picture, but I'll show you. The Jumpmaster 5000 is what it was called Punishing One.
And can you send me a picture on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Is that
Copy image.
I don't want to look up weird things on my work laptop.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That would make a great speeder pod racer type thing.
Yeah, nice. So cool. He's making a racer that looks like that. It's not going to be fast, but it's going to look just like that, and hopefully make him get high points.
No worries. So, in terms of yourself and Nick, you were speaking about trading some parts. So
I think the cockpit and the engines.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you the opportunity to swap just numbers. So Nick's first roll was 100. Well, it wasn't by the time you had modifiers. Your first roll was 83. Nick's second roll was 100. Yours was 4. Nick's third roll was 100. Yours was 14. Nick's fourth roll was 17, and yours was 46. And Nick's last roll was 100, and yours was 62. I'll let you switch 2 as a maximum.
I will take his 2 lowest numbers and give him my 2 highest numbers.
Oh, thank you, Nick.
Okay, so you're
You're
now
welcome.
100.
Banner's got a reputation to uphold here.
100, you are now 4.
Yeah, indeed.
You're
Thank you.
14. Okay.
Click like he's like, oh, it seems like these parts that you've taken, I've got, like, he just points out something wrong with them and he says, I have them here and these are going to be used by the Empire. I wouldn't want to give them a ship that's too good, but a pod racer would be next to useless to them, so you would be better off with them.
Oh, that's very wise. I could certainly use these parts. Thank you.
Hang on, was Beige also building a racer?
No, he'd entered into the races, but he had.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah, he was just there under a ruse of looking for things in the scrap, basically things of worth.
His parts got stolen.
So Nick's score dropped from 83 down to 47%, and Richard's went from 42 to 78% with the switch of those numbers. I'm just keeping it for percentage-wise, so I know when I do rolls against things. So, okay, so you've gone back to the unit. Obviously, you've got all your equipment. You've traded some. You're like, oh, I'm going to build this, something like this, and I'm going to build this, and I'm going to build this and bits and pieces. But you get a notification that the convention is continuing, and there is panels and other bits and pieces going on if you wish to attend. Entirely up to you as players if you want to. If you want to stay and build montage, that's absolutely fine.
I think Spanish is too hungover to go and sit in a crowd.
Thaddeus is quite focused on like the job at hand, so he will do what he can to assist everyone, because I imagine we're going to need to help each other on all of these challenges. It's not like, Thaddeus doesn't have any mechanical expertise, so he's going to be relying on Spanners and Click Clack to help him assemble things, but he'll work on the targeting side and, and he'll help other people. So he won't attend any of the conference stuff.
No worries.
Click Clack will go and pop off a I know you reference him a lot now, but for Dengar's, and I'll see if it's interesting because you know, he likes to cut off his jib.
No problem.
Being a bounty hunter that's into mechanics and killing people with extreme prejudice.
That's the one. And sometimes his face and his turban, which looks very strange. Anyway, right. So I'll just quickly do the boys that are still in the workshop. So you find the workshop is full of every tool that you can imagine you require for building your items. And you start work on building them. Obviously, you're building a very large cannon. You're building a racer. These aren't things that are just put together in literally like minutes, you know. So it takes a bit of time. So we have a bit of montage of you helping each other lift things, and Thaddeus lifting stuff very easily, and Spanners maybe struggling a little bit depending on the weight, etc. And fixing and helping each other. What we'll do is we'll come back to the overall percentage of your quality of your item shortly, and then we'll see if we can do some mechanic rolls to make them go up or down depending on how you're doing, because not everything works from junk, you know. We'll see. So we'll come back to those in a second. So Click-Clack heads off to the convention centre and arrives just in time to see everyone sort of saying, "Oh, come in, the panel's starting," and inviting everybody in. And you bump into Thaddeus, who says, Click-Clack, I'm glad at least one person came along. It's good to see a friend in this crowd of many faces.
You mean beige?
No, it's beige talking to Click-Clack.
You said Thaddeus.
Oh, sorry. I was when I look past the screen, I said the wrong name. Thanks, Click-Clack, for coming. It's very, very nice to see a friendly face.
Well, actually, if Click-Clack sees beige, he will just go elsewhere.
Maybe he'll call him then, you know, from across the crowd, like, "Oh, Click-Clack," and then he like disappears into the crowd, and he's like, "Where did he go?"
I rather than just avoid him, he will roll stealth and legitimately have an opportunity. There's the words. Thank you. For beige to see him, find him. So he'll try and skulk off into the crowd, but he's also a fairly unique person, even in a crowd of aliens.
Okay, no worries. I'm gonna roll his perception to see if he manages to spot you. No, it's busy. There's a very busy crowd. Maybe he sort of saw where you walked up the steps, but then completely loses you. And
by the time he makes it to the top of the steps, Click-Clack's already.
He's already sort of disappeared into the crowd, and you see him. If you do see him, he's holding 2 pots of popcorn. No, it's fine. So you go into the centre, the convention centre, and it's so busy in here. There seems to be a lot more people here now than there was on the previous day. Maybe people had turned up earlier and then disappeared to the hotels or parties or whatever, but it's much, much busier in here, and you kind of like jostled a little bit as you're walking through the crowd, but everybody's getting jostled where people are trying to get to the places. And you make your way into the presentation hall, and there's lots of chairs that are lined up, and you can see people that have actually lined the walls, because there's lots of people to come here to see this particular panel reading, whatever you want to call it, information. And you see a title on the screen. It's a mechanic at heart, bounty hunter by trade, and a picture of Dengar, just a very flat face on the screen next to the title.
Not like, you know, the American ones where it's like he's a character, so he's always like, "Urgh," and then he turns up to this panel show and he's been told he has to do PR, so he's like,
yeah, maybe it's that on the screen above it.
It's very obviously faked,
Faked, yeah.
forced.
So after a few minutes, there's quite a loud noise. People are talking. You go to a room full of people, but everybody's talking, and it's really, really loud. And I forgot his name. The guy comes out and introduces himself and goes, "And welcome back, everybody. We're here for our first panel this evening. Mechanic at Heart, bounty hunter by trade. And we've got a very special guest for you tonight. You've guessed it. Up on the panel, it's Dengar! And you see Dengar just sort of walk very, like you said, he's kind of like forced to be here. He kind of walks out really slowly, and he's full arm. He's like, yeah. He goes, so, Dengar, how is it to be back at Marvelous Mechanics? And he goes, great. Man, a few words, but deadly by trade. Just a few moments, folks. We'll be back with the panel questions. And he puts the mic off, and you can sort of see him go to put his arm around Dengar, and then think twice about it. Go, and up on the stage, you just hear, "You've got to give us more of an answer than yeah." And Dengar just goes, goes and finds a seat to sit down where he's allocated. And a few minutes later, the presenter guy, there we go, comes back and welcome back to our panel today. Ellerton Hitch has just come into the hall. Said he's not feeling very well. He's had to go and freshen up. So we're going to move on with our questions, and then for the next 20 minutes, they're like the questions that are presented by people in the crowd, and every single answer Dengar gives is really flat. Like, yeah, it's handy. You need one of those. Until a question comes up about his blaster. He's got a very unique blaster, and you see his sort of demeanour change, and he's like, best bit of kit in the galaxy, you definitely need one of these. If you can get them in the hall out there, get them, but you do need to do, and he goes off into a load of tweaks that he's made as a mechanic and made it better, like, feather triggered and all those bits and pieces. And then he gets asked one more question, he's just like, no. And he gets up and walks out as if like he's completely done with this thing. During the speeches, the Q&A, can I have a perception check from you, please, sir? This is going to be average with blue because you're looking that direction. Amazing. So during the panel, probably about 4 or 5 questions in, Dengar is answering them, and he's kind of like, looking around the room lazily. But you notice he's not actually lazy looking around. He is actively searching the crowd, but trying to make it as smooth as possible. So it's just like, yes, yeah, sort of turning his head. But you can see every time he turns, he is scanning those faces. He locks eyes with you for just a second longer than he sort of looks at the other people. And then continues as if he, hasn't looked. And he does this about 3 times, but specifically you. And then he moves on. And then eventually he gets up and leaves, and the presenter goes, and that's all, folks, for our panel today. And you see everyone look at their watches thinking, well, this is supposed to go on for another hour or something. And he goes, we'll be back later with my wife left me, so build another, probably in about 4 hours. Go enjoy the refreshments, seek out the hall, go have fun, folks. And then he put the microphone down. You just see him shaking his head as he walks off the stage.
Once the room has emptied out, Flicklack will wait like 5 minutes and then go and loiter in a common area and see if he can spot him and what he's up to.
Okay, no worries. So you wait for 5 minutes after, come out last and wait, and everybody sort of cleared off. And it's very clearly he was kind of doing the same thing to let the crowd disappear so he didn't get mobbed. And you see him step out of a side door to the stage and sort of look back and forward and looks right at you. I'm looking over here, but you're over here. But looks right at you. Imagine down. I'm looking as if I'm looking down the corridor. Right at you, and nods you towards this sort of direction. And you see him sort of walk a few paces, open up a door, step through it.
He, just checks and saunters like he's calm, he's casual. He just follows.
So you come up to the doorway and look inside the doorway, and let's say it's like a private dining hall or something like that he's just stepped in, and he's lazily leaning against the wall as you come in. He's like, nice rifle. I assume you've got it with you. And it's more of a kind of like a look of professional, courtesy is the wrong word, assessing a rival, but not a rival, sizing you up, as it were. I think that's right the way. So you're a hunter as well.
I am.
May I look? Points at your rifle that's slung over your shoulder.
Yeah, he slings out, and but I'm assuming there's like a conference table in here. Puts it on the edge of the table and takes half a step back. He's it's one like he is showing, like, he takes a step back because he's like, either I don't consider you a threat or I don't think that you're going to do something, but also like it's that like the power move, isn't it? You turn your back to someone and to show that you're not afraid of them, kind of thing.
So he'll take a step forward, and as he does, he'll unsling his large rifle and actually go towards you first before he goes towards the table. Just holds out his rifle barrel, just holds it towards you.
He'll take it with deference and appraise the weapon.
And then he'll look at yours on the table and pick it up and turn it over and look at the monitor. This is good. Very good.
Yeah. This is was this is a piece of kit that has been treated well.
It's called me many. I'm going to say quarries. That's the wrong one. Targets. And he puts your rifle down and takes a little tablet out, puts it on the table, and flips open the page. And on that is your picture. This is old data. But you have a bounty on your head.
We all have bounties on our head in this profession.
You're technically correct, but I'm not after you. I just wanted to not prove a point, that's the wrong way. I just wanted to inform you that it's still there. This is a professional courtesy.
I appreciate the courtesy. He will hand him back his rifle, but like, when you pass him a scissors and you hold the point of it.
Yes.
So we're passing it with basically the stock towards him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he'll take it and put it back on his sling and say, "Watch your back. There's a lot of people here that will follow the rules, and the rules are no bounty hunting while you're here. However, there's opportunists everywhere."
Well, we shall see how this place deals with the body count of fools.
He gives you a right old belly laugh and sort of slaps you on the shoulder. Slaps down his little tablet thing and says, "Good luck to you, Click Clack." Puts it in his pouch and says, "Enjoy the convention." And he'll step out the door. But he'll do that like, not spy, like soldier. He'll go to the side of the door and then step out into the convention.
That's interesting. And the screen face, Click Clack goes, that's interesting. And the screen face.
Does he say it in a normal voice first and he goes, "Oh, wait."
Pretending. No, yeah, that is interesting that we have a bounty from somewhere.
He did say it was old data. Specifically.
Yeah, but like that should have been cleared. A lot of that. So yeah, that's we obviously missed something.
Meta game point. You haven't missed anything. Something's happened in the side stuff that hasn't come to pass.
Yeah, it's like unless we were going to do bounty hunting and stuff, I wouldn't have checked it.
Yeah.
Not in this party with this group of people, because we're not a bounty hunting group. So there's no reason for Click Clack to constantly check the bounty boards and stuff. So yeah, he will do some investigating later. Trying to see if that's a Guinness that he's got, or an Aspels. That's an Aspels, of course it is. Yeah.
I have one in the fridge, and I've been waiting to drink it because I've been on tablets so long. I was like, "Oh, come on!"
Oh, I had those ones that you got, Richard. Those little cans of cider. They're very good. Those M&S ones.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad you like them.
You have some cider here in the fridge as well, Richard, that you left from last time.
Well, that's an excuse to come back.
Yeah, there is. Anyway, sorry, off topic. So you have that interaction, and the other guys are in the workshop, and there's a little bit of montage where there's, like I said, they're welding and sparks flying and all those bits and pieces. While you guys are busy in that workshop, can I please have a perception check? You're welcome to help each other, or you're welcome to do it individually, entirely up to you. It's going to be hard with a black, please.
I'll help you, Ross.
That's Ross saying that his cunning isn't very good either.
But he's muted himself, so we can't hear him.
And I'm on one screen, so it's hard for me to swap between og dudes and all the fucking windows and everything. No,
What's that?
my cunning is okay. So you said average and a black.
No, hard and a black, but you can have either a blue
Hard
from
and black.
Richard or whatever he's got.
A blue from Richard, because I have a yellow and 2 greens.
There we go.
Hard no.
Hard no. Okay. You noticed nothing. You're busy doing your things. You're busy building, but you notice nothing other than your work. You don't see any external stuff. Too busy. Focused.
We've been robbed.
Sorry.
We've been robbed from now.
I don't know.
Well, the advantage is that we notice we've been robbed from.
No, because I didn't say you had been robbed. as a Finn, I didn't say that. No, yeah, so basically you just didn't notice that somebody had sort of poked their head around the corner and had a little look at your stuff. Do you want to break to go to the toilet and do Eli, etc.?
Eli will take like 20 minutes, dude. So I'd rather we carry on.
Yeah, sure.
And then, like, if we stop at 22 or something like that, then
That's cool.
I'll take them out for a wee.
I'm kind of glad that this hasn't gone very fast, because I kind of planned this whole thing to take like 3 or 4 sessions, because I've got lots to go on. But anyway, so you guys are busy montaging, making all these things and putting all your parts maybe in a row and going, whatever, and you don't notice something that happens in the background, even though I give it away. Okay, so later on that afternoon, click clack. Well, no, later in the afternoon, you guys decide to have a break. You've been working. Oh, sorry, maybe morning was the scrap heap. Maybe evening. Right, it's hungry time. Everybody's hungry, and you have an option to go wherever you choose. There is the hotel. You can go for food, or you can go into the city. It's entirely up to you. The convention's still going on. There's, that there's going to be parties and little bingo and all those bits and pieces. But there is lots of restaurants in town. Although you're a droid, you don't need to eat. But anyway, there's restaurants and places that you can go and drink. Let's call it. There's like a strip where, when you go abroad and they've got like the strip of all the restaurants and everything in one row where the tourism goes. There is one of these that you could go to and let off some steam, should you wish.
And as you must simply take in the sights while we are here. We can't just stay in a workshop and not experience the opportunity of this place.
Yes, I suppose so, but we don't want to go far. I'm not feeling too good still, so let's just take a short wander.
Yeah, we'll just go to the strip and we'll find a nice place, because sometimes a wholesome meal can really settle you. So let's go find something unique and nice. We don't have to be there long. I agree with you. This is going to be an all-nighter, high focus. Yeah.
Okay, agreed.
Okay.
We give Beige a call.
Okay. Hello.
Dr. Beige.
Oh,
We are
Thaddeus.
going for dinner.
Okay. How long do I have to get ready? Because I'm still... Don't say anything, but I'm still in the scrap pile.
Hey, what?
But they closed it many hours ago, but I'm still here.
Oh, I see.
I've been looking
Do you
for
need
things.
some help?
Oh, no, well, not really, but I've had lots of things, but I'm getting quite hungry and it's quite late, but I could use a diversion to get out without getting in trouble with the security.
Righto, Spanners, we need to run a little bit of a diversion on the way through. Are you up for it?
Yes. What about what about if I left something in there? Maybe what if I say, "Oh, I dropped my keys in the scrapyard," and ask the security to take me in to look for my keys. And while we're looking for the keys, then maybe Dr. Page can sneak out.
A sound plan.
We go to the gates to the scrapyard, find security, and Spanner says, "Oh, so sorry to bother you. I think maybe I dropped my keys in there. Can I just go in with your help and have a look?"
No. No. No personnel in the scrap pile until tomorrow.
Oh, it won't take long. Please, my good man. Just a quick little look.
What are these keys for?
For my ship.
Well, you don't need your ship. You can't go anywhere for 2 days.
Oh, I have my medication in there. And if I don't have my medication, you don't want to know. Oof. I just need to get into my ship.
Med centre's that way.
Oh, no, I don't have a prescription here on this planet, you see. So I wouldn't be able to get my meds here. I have to get them from my ship.
Pulls out a hand scanner and does this up and down on you. This blasted thing ain't working. No, you're not coming in. I've got to do my job.
I'm just looking at my skills.
You hear in your earpiece, you hear, "Psst, Spanish, you're doing a great job. I just need you to knock him out or something."
There's no way Spanish is doing that. I really don't have talkie skills to help me get through this.
He
He's just
contacted the
gonna-
wrong person for this help.
Well, they contacted him.
Oh, someone needs knocking out. Oh shit, I killed him. So I missed that. Why are you just looking? Did you say Beige was stuck in the scrapyard?
Yeah, they contacted Beige to tell him that they were going to go for some dinner in the strip to have a bit of a catch up and a break. And he said that he was still in the scrap pile, but he's been there all day. You guys got
But
all
I
kicked
saw him
out.
in the convention hall.
You did.
We don't know that.
No, but okay, continue.
Spanners escalates his lie. He goes, oh, God, I really need my medication. Okay, I'll stay here, but can you just go in and have a look? It was over near the old Lambda shuttle wing. I think I dropped them there. I'll stay here. Can you just go and have a look for them in there, please?
Beige comes back on. No, not near the lambda shuttle. Not near the lambda shuttle.
Yeah, not near the wing. The guy looks at you up and down and sort of looks behind the scrap pile not too far from him and pulls out like a circular dish and just hands it to you and says, "No mess." As you were going to be sick, right? So you're going to be sick. Stay.
Thaddeus kind of leans into it and he goes, "Do you remember that mess around the one guy this morning? You must have seen it. It was massive. This is going to be 50 times worse than that.
Yeah.
50 times. See, 4 arms. You don't want to know how many stomachs he's got, man. This is going to get messy. It's going to get bad."
Yeah, I'll go look. Just a minute. And he goes, I can't whistle because the thing, but it whistles with his 2 fingers. And these kind of like cat-like creatures kind of unfurl from the shadows and they come to stand in front of you. They look like They like got red eyes. They've got 6 limbs, some claws. They look really mean. And he goes, "Watch them," and he just turns down and walks into the scrap pile. These things look fucking mean, and they're literally just staring at you.
The Spanish will keep up the charade.
Did anybody know he had those creatures? I think I did give a report on these. These are the Shan. They're like cat creatures. Could you distract them in any way? If they get wind of me, I'm done for.
Thaddeus, are they just well-trained animals? They're not robotic or anything like that, right? They're just like they're well-trained animals. Well, how letter of the law do you think they follow instructions? Because he told them to watch us, which means if we walk away a little bit, they would hopefully follow us. If we walk just around the corner. So Thaddeus is going to try and see. He's going to move slowly and watch if the head like follows them. And then he's going to move a little bit away.
So I imagine if you were like in a straight line, right? So this is the scrap pile on this side. They're in front, just watching you. So if you walked up and went round the corner, the thing will track you. So standing.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah. That's kind of what I'll do is then I'll start moving that way and pull Spanners. Come on, Spanners. That's Fever's work.
And they will follow you around the corner. You hear Thaddeus, "Oh, fantastic! Good job, chaps. I'm going to break cover. 3, 2, 1." And then you hear cling, 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 cling as he's running out, and you turn around to see this guy with like a Santa satchel, and he's just running across the open ground to try and get to the. Sorry, a swag bag.
It's got swag on the side of it.
You just see him running along, trying to get to the between the clearing and the tree line. He goes, "Thank you, Chad." "Oh no, they're chasing me!" And you see this like creature just come out of nowhere and start chasing him across the ground.
I guess that means you won't be joining us for dinner.
I'll see you soon. Just run away. He will meet up with you in a few hours, and you'll see him with a fresh bandage.
From the med center that they pointed out.
He's got a thing around his wrist. Med center is like a bite mark or something, and he's got a bandage around. Thank you so much for the diversion. I mean, I didn't know about the creatures, the cat-like creatures. They're very strange. They hurt. I won't lie to you.
Their bites toxic?
Apparently not.
Fortunate for you.
But look, they ruined my shirt, and you can see that he's got his like Indiana Jones hat and his shirt, and it's just like a big couple of claw marks down it. So,
did you not bring a spare?
Well, I have back at my hotel room, but I had to stash me swag and go to the medical centre because of the bite.
See.
Did anybody fancy noodles? Anyone? Noodles?
Well, we've just eaten at that fancy restaurant I told you we were going to.
Was it good?
I don't know. I didn't eat.
Was it good, Spanners?
Oh, yes.
Very good. Then it makes you feel better. And you can recover your 2 strain. So it's just what you needed. You just needed to have a meal and some form of substance, basically food and drink, and you feel much, much, much better. Tell me what this fancy restaurant looked like, because if you remember how I described the building, some of them are inside trees and tree tops, and what did this one look like?
You want to go for it, Richard?
You go.
You have it. I had all the fun with the cats, so you go ahead.
So, this is a noodle bar. Did we say? No, he offered to go to noodles. We went somewhere fancy. Okay. This one is themed like Coruscant. So it's themed like a Coruscant restaurant. So you go in and it's got screens on all the walls, making it seem like you're in the upper tiers of Coruscant. So the walls are plasma screens showing ships flying by, making you feel like you're in like a Michelin-starred restaurant in the upper tiers of Coruscant, and you're served fancy food.
What's it called? I think Coruscant Heights or something like
Up,
that.
upper echelon.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Does Click Clack join you for this meal? This lovely meal?
We'll definitely let them know that we go in.
Yeah, I mean, if the timelines align and they do let me know.
So they while you were at the convention centre, they did some more work, and then they decided that they needed a break. Well, Click Clack, no, your Click Clack Spanners needed a break for some substance to try and feel better. So they came to the strip after helping Beige escape from the cat-like things. So I'll just grab some noodles from this street vendor over here. But have you heard about the black market here?
No.
Come with me, I'll just get my noodles. And I have good information that it's just down one of these side alleys. You can get parts and, well, back alley items. Just a moment. And he goes over to the street vendor and orders a big pot of noodles. And he gets given one of those little Chinese, the little Chinese boxes, like the portable ones. And he goes, oh, great. Right, let's go down this alleyway. And he's still eating his noodles. And good authority, this is just down here. And it takes you down, if you go with him, it takes you down a set of stairs that seems to be cut into the rock. And from the alleyway, it doesn't look like anything, like if that makes sense. It's just very dark and dingy. And he goes down a set of steps, and it kind of goes underneath the main street that you've just been on into another main street. Quite well lit because it's underground. And you can see the roots of the trees, obviously, where they've come through. You can hear running water, clearly from all the rivers and little bits and pieces come through. And it's a bustling market. And just looking around here, you go, oh, there's a couple of team members here from the other teams. And I've seen that person at the convention, and I've seen that person at the convention. And you've got vendors here that have scrap parts. They've got weapons. They've everything you can think on the black market. But specifically relating to this convention, there's just lines of stalls that you can talk to.
Professor's log. We have quite literally found an underground market. Then he carries on.
I'm getting Nocturne Alley vibes from Harry Potter. Nocturne Alley, but it's where like all the shady shit goes on down a side alley from Diagon Alley.
That wasn't my intention, but it sounds good. So you can see all kinds of stuff here, and Beige goes, oh, I look, chaps, I know we've just met up, and I'm very keen to have a drink and have a good time with you all, but I need to go look for some items, and I've got a few things that I might try and sell here today. I'll catch up with you soon. Drinks on me.
Do you have any of your swag for us? Could we use any for our competitions, or is it
This isn't for the competitions, Thaddeus. This is
not
just
fit for purpose?
not fit for the purpose of what you're doing. No. Yes. So I'd see you all for drinks at the bar upstairs. It's called.
Oh, remember that the pilfered parrots, what were privateers, get a cut of any profit you make.
I don't remember that being in the agreement, but okay. Yes. Oh, I
You're
forgot to
part
tell
of the
you.
crew. You got to earn your keep.
Yes. The hotel cost me 750 credits. Don't forget to take that into account. And he sort of walks off into the crowd because you did tell him to go get his own hotel and charge it to the. But so 750 credits to come off of the hotel, the ship account. He's a very naughty doctor.
We said nowhere too expensive, and he went and got somewhere that was almost expensive as a 3-person place, so 4-person place. So we'll have some words with him about that next time we see him.
Yeah, they could have all been avoided if you let him stay.
You should have just let him stay on that fuzzy carpet in our one. 0 charge extra.
You can sleep in the bath.
Yeah.
So he disappears into the alley, and you can see him maybe every now and then. He's talking to vendors and appears to be showing them little bits and pieces that he's got. And after a while, once you guys have done it here, he'll meet you at the bar which obviously you want to do here. So there's everything here. So there's parts here. So you are welcome to roll a perception check, and then you can roll your D100 to see if you want to replace one of your items, to see if you can get an upgraded bit of kit from here. And it will cost you credits. This stuff isn't free. So you can pick an item if you want to. So Ross, your numbers were 27, 100, 89, 24 and 100. Nick, yours are now 100, 4, 14, 17, 100. And Richard, yours are 83, 100, 100, 46 and 62. So I'll let you roll for one item to replace out of those if you want to try and find one here.
83, 100.
100 again, 46 and 62.
What difficulty perception?
So it's going to be the same as you did before. So it'll be 3 for hard, and then the skill you rolled before, you rolled gunnery. Or you can roll perception if you want to.
Oh, okay. No, I'll roll gunnery. That's much better for me.
Do we roll first and then you tell us how much it would cost to buy the thing we found?
Yeah, so I'm going to let you roll first and then roll your percentile dice. So, Ross, which one were you looking to replace? Item 1, which was 27, or item 4, which was 24?
24.
Okay,
That's
so
24.
if you roll a D100 now with plus 20, to see if you get a... So it's 75, okay.
95.
So it's going to cost you 400 credits if you want to replace that item.
And I'll get a 95 item then.
And you'll get a 95 item.
Yeah, I'll do it. For 400 credits,
Yep.
I'll do it. I'll do it. That's
95. So, Spanners, you rolled a 51. Which one were you looking to replace? The 46?
The 47. So he decides not to. He finds something and goes, no, it's not good enough. It's not worth the credits. It's not much better than the part I've already got.
Yeah,
Doesn't
okay.
buy anything.
Nikki rolling to replace
Wow.
either 4 or 14? Oh, okay. So
I'll have 2 crits, please.
no way. So you find a piece that is 100% in quality that is better than your 4, and they say it's 400 credits for you to replace this item. Well, not replace it, to buy
How much profit do we stand to make if we win the competition? That's in my notebook back at my house.
None, because you haven't won yet.
But you did tell us what the prize money was.
The prize fund was, for the racer, was 10,000 credits. The energy weapon was 7,500. The ship upgrade was 20,000, and the robotics was 5,000. But we'll do the robotics later on.
We paid 500 to enter, did we?
500 to get access to the scrap pile.
Yes.
Are you spending those 400 credits?
Yeah, with the second crit, can I do a roll for a second item?
No.
Okay.
You might be able to.
Can you negotiate the price?
I'll tell you what, I'll give you 100 credits off because of the second crit. So it costs you 300 rather than 400.
I mean, sure, it's 100 credits, but sure.
So the...
it's all my money that I've been giving to the bellboys and stuff.
I'm not allowing you to roll for more than one item tonight because we're going to have theoretically a second evening before thing, and obviously the prices might change from that side of things. Okay, cool. So we've got some upgraded parts, which is great. That's no bother as we roll to that. So after a while, you've looked around. There's nothing else here that catches your eye. It takes you a little while to find these items and either haggle or buy or say no or whatever. And you head back up into the main street. This is one of those things that the convention people don't tell you about and don't talk about. They know it happens, but they don't talk about it. Don't talk about Bruno and all that malarkey. And you find Dr. Beige, sitting outside a bar with a glass in his hand. He goes, "Oh, cheers, chaps. Anyone for a drink?" And he'll click to the waiter to come over and my friends here would like one for you and one for you. And any oil, Thaddeus? Do you do that? I don't know.
Babe, are you charging these drinks to the room?
No.
Are you running a tab that you expect the pilfered pirates to pay? That's a tongue twister.
That's a tongue twister, and that's definitely a observation roll or something.
Well, I mean, Thaddeus will just come out and ask him. straight.
Uh,
I'm happy to do like an inside if he's, or what's it called? Discipline. Is it discipline to detect lies? I can't remember what you roll.
uh, so yeah, discipline. We'll go for discipline versus deception. So I'll roll Thaddeus.
Well, that's worthless. May as well have not bothered.
Very convincingly, no, Thaddeus. I wouldn't think of dreaming of charging it to the pilfered parrot and setting up a tab. I honestly will pay for this with credits.
Fantastic. I'm glad to hear it.
So drink you two, but the waiter's right here.
Mocktail, please. Your best mocktail. I had a heavy night last night.
I should be getting back to the workshop to check on security.
That's just one mocktail then, please. Thank you. And the waiter disappears off.
Thaddeus will go with click-clack. I say, Spanners, be careful. No partying tonight.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it.
Keep in touch.
Flip over at dark side point. Whole party scene. No worries. Spanners, I'm glad we got catch up. Sorry, and I got some right old treasures in that scrap pile today. How about you?
Oh, I did terribly, but thankfully Click-Clack helped me out by giving me some of his parts. My eyes were so blurry after last night, and I found it very difficult to find anything good.
Where did you go last night? I did send you a message. I was having a wonderful time in the hot tub.
I have a vague memory of wanting to come and join you, but somehow I ended up crashed out back at our place.
I had some ladies of the night in my hotel last night.
Did you?
I didn't pay them, though. I'm a bit confused, but I'm not complaining.
Did you still have all of your possessions in the morning?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, they came and had a bit of fun, and then they left. But I didn't pay them any credits.
They came, you came, and then you didn't pay them any money?
I know, win-win.
Oh, well done, you. Well done, sir.
Cheery, he's obviously had a few drinks. And would you like to join me for some drinks at the hot tub?
No, not tonight. I would have last night, but I do want to keep a level head after the debacle last night.
I've got some bits of kit I think you like the look of, and I've been collecting some bits for Remix. I need to make sure they're actually going to work. Have you got time for that at all, or is it too busy?
Yes, I can come have a little look, and then I'll head back.
Oh, okay, no worries. And he's going to finish his drink with you, and then he'll take you up to his hotel. I'll come to that in just a second. So you guys get a taxi or whatever back to the workshop.
We'll take the stroll, because on the walk, Click-Clack will say to Thaddeus, what has Beige been getting up to? I noticed he had a fresh bandage on his person.
Well, he was hiding in the scrap pile, and he never left when everyone was told to leave. So he stayed there the entire time, and then we had to cause a distraction to get him out, and he got bitten by one of the cats.
He can't have been there the entire time. I saw him when I went to the panel.
Are you 100% sure it was him?
Do you think I, of all people, would mistake a face?
No, I don't. I'm just
Especially
trying
when
to
they
resolve.
are at you across a convention hall.
Yeah. I cannot resolve these two multiple timelines.
We shall have to. Yeah, we shall have to interrogate him next time we see him. Unfortunately, as well, there seems to be some bounties persisting around us. I was very kindly informed as a professional courtesy that outstanding bounties do still persist. Upon myself at least, so I will need to check. The rest of you.
That's very concerning. It will stop our enterprise from flourishing.
There are lots of things going on at the moment which do not quite add up together. First, it is the pod racing business. Then it is 2 lots of brown. And then the bounties. I wonder what else is going to come next.
I suggest we should focus on our task at hand for right now, while we process these on a background thread. And you can see he noticeably like spins up a background thread that he's running these computations on. And he's like, let's continue.
Just we'll have this conversation as we're walking back to the.
So as you get back and you go to the workshop and storage, it's all locked as you left it, Thaddeus, because Thaddeus was there. Locked, and you open it up and everything seems to be in order. Doesn't seem to be anything missing. And obviously you've come back with your new parts, so you know you've got one technically more part than you had before. But everything seems to be in order.
We get cracking.
Okay.
What Click Clack is going to do is make sure that either his entry or maybe the cockpit parts he left for spanners are accessible. They're not in the back of a pole, and he's just gonna place one of the cockpit parts somewhere, either on a work hoist or something, and he's gonna use it to sleep in tonight. Down here in the lockup.
Yep.
Right, but he's not going to sleep on the floor. He's going to find like a pleasant seat, a cockpit at least.
Okay. No worries. This way, Spatters. Come up these stairs and oh, look at my wonderful room. And it's adorned awfully. It's like a tiki kind of like Hawaiian theme, and it looks terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
As a person, I'd like it, but in Star Wars universe, it looks bad. It's like worth every credit. I'm sorry I spent too much, but I saw the room and I could not have it. Apparently, it comes with 3 girls as well, according to last night. Do you want to go in the hot tub and have a drink quickly?
No. Show me what you wanted to show me, and then I'll get back.
Okay, and he sort of looks very shifty around to make sure there's no one in the hotel room, and he pays with the key. He pulls out a bag and puts a load of items on the bed, and to you they just look like weird items, like emitters and power cores and all these bits and pieces. Like there's no way of you actually checking here and now if they work, but they look like serviceable parts.
These look like serviceable parts, I'd say.
Yes. Well, I'm glad that they're serviceable in such a way that they could be used. I need some help. That's why I was hoping you would come to this room. That was me freezing, not the screen. But my brain was just going, what was the right word? And I need some help. I was approached by a young lady yesterday at the convention who said that she knew one of our party, one of our group, one of our people. And they said that they knew Lynn. And they asked me to do some things for them. and I'm not sure if I should do them or not.
Oh, was it someone who looked a bit like Lynn, perhaps?
Well, yes. How did you know that?
Amareth, yes, she's familiar to us.
Oh, well, I've been helping her all day, and well, that's partly why I was in the scrap pile. She's asked me to help her while she was doing some investigation work regarding this engineer fellow in the Empire. Is that right?
We have a loose alliance with her. It may be that her intentions are perfectly innocent, or it may be that what she's asked you to do is against our best interests. Tell me more.
So I shouldn't help her, or I should help her. Which one?
It depends what she's asked you to do. Tell me more, please.
Well, she's asked me to expire someone, and that's not really my area of expertise.
Oh, she should be dealing with that herself, not asking you.
Yes, well, I strange. She asked me to for my sizes and my jacket. She asked to borrow my jacket, and I couldn't quite understand why. But I was a bit worried, so I said yes.
All right.
So, do you think I should help her? She said she'd contact me this evening.
She's borrowed your jacket and asked you to expire someone.
Yes, I don't quite understand.
Who did she ask you to expire?
The engineer fella, Elephant Hitch. Did you hear that?
I lost you there.
The engineer fellow, Elephant Hitch.
Ah. And how does she expect you to deal with that?
I've no idea. That's why I've been drinking so heavily.
Hang on. And he calls Amareth.
Hi, Arms. How are you?
Okay. How goes it with your mission?
Oh, I've been able to walk around freely all day without being spotted, which is fantastic.
Oh, good. I'm with one of our party, a certain Dr. Beige, and he said that you'd asked him to deal with a certain expiring of a certain someone. I found that curious.
Tell him not to worry. I'll handle it. He's already played his part.
Okay. I would. He walks out of earshot of Dr. Beige, and he says, I wouldn't leave that sort of thing to him, you know.
Oh, no, I won't. He's already been my patsy. Don't worry.
So, hang on. Are you framing our Dr. Beige?
Oh, I just used somebody who I thought was useless to get my job done.
Amareth, you could have picked anyone to be your fall guy, and you picked a member of our party. Not cool, Amareth, not cool.
He's a blithering idiot.
That may be, but he's our blithering idiot, and he has ties to us.
Well, I'm afraid that the camera footage will show that it was him.
Amareth, I'm not happy with you.
I gather that from the tone. Goodbye, Arms.
He immediately calls the other two.
And we're going to leave it on that cliffhanger. That might answer one of your questions for Thaddeus.
Or two of them.
Or two of them, yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
I'm beginning to like her. Now I'm not so sure.
I think some of the other party members might like her for what she's going to be doing or up to. But yes, I like Amareth.